So were you planning on doing like a leprechaun theme, like a St. Patrick's Day episode today, or
Well,
like
see
what's
what
the deal?
happened. It was a rainy day, and I just decided to wear green, and it was just like these are my rainy day shoes, and I'm just colorful like that. Like I feel like I have to match. But it's funny.
I like the green.
My blacks don't match, and I didn't realize that until I didn't. I was like, oh, blacks don't match.
You know they say green stands for something else too.
I hope it stands for money.
Right on.
Wow, we would have never believed this. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Google. Go out there and listen to us. So we're excited about it. We're glad you're excited about it too.
Apparently, we have this new episode that we're going to be doing called Ask Steve. It really makes me feel like MODOK or something. Like I've got a big head.
Or you're Yoda.
Okay.
And you're all
I'm in green. Yeah, that works. So hopefully I don't let you guys down, and hopefully I've got all the correct answers, which, Lord, please bless me right now to say the correct things in Jesus' name. And let's go.
All right, so Alex had one for you that
Yes, sir.
kind of leads me into some of the stuff I wanted to chat with you about. So if you're not into fitness at all, and you don't work out regularly, is it still beneficial to do just like any kind, like say basketball or go bike riding or do rock climbing or just anything, or should you go like right away into just doing weightlifting?
It's kind of a double-edged question, because the question is, should I forego any type of activity versus actually picking up weights?
Yeah.
And it's going to just come down to your goal. It's just a goal thing. So if I'm just interested in being fit, healthy, and there's not a particular look, and I'm going to upset some people when I say this, there's not a particular look that I'm going for, then I don't need weights.
Right.
I just want to be healthy, nice athletic build. I can get that from explosive movements on a basketball court.
Yeah.
But you have to play basketball. You can't go out there and just, I played basketball for an hour today. What'd you do? I sat there. You got to be running up and down the court. So one is going to be more focused on cardiovascular, heart health. It's really not caring about the muscles. It's just a loaded question.
Okay, you've been in action sports, right?
Yes.
Okay, so me and my boy, this was pre-pandemic. We used to go like almost every day, like almost religiously, to the rock climbing wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have never been so shredded in my life.
Well, that is more of an anaerobic workout. Remember we talked about the anaerobic where you're actually lifting weights and you're moving it. Now you're not going to build a magnificent physique,
Right.
but because you're using muscle,
A lot of it.
and you have to hold and pull,
Yeah.
core strength. You're doing
Yeah.
things where it's your core, you're pulling. So you are doing a muscular, we call them prison style workouts, and it's not a prison style workout, but if you watch him, there's videos making TikTok right now, the guy bouncing up the wall, climbing up the pole, and he's doing a workout. And see, he's in pretty good shape. But that's what that is, because you're having to use your muscles in an anaerobic way. You're doing a fast pace, and you don't get to slow your heart down.
Okay.
So that is always an excellent way. But it's, like I said, it's a loaded question that has no real answer.
Okay. So next question. And this is interesting, but kind of like twofold, right? But first of all, like if it's hard to get off the couch, right? Like to get into
That's the hardest lift.
It is. It's hard to get off the couch and get into the gym and start working out, right? But then like once you're there, like, and you do it consistently, like, I don't know, like even 3 times a week, like really, I like for me, and I'm like, all or nothing kind of guy, right? So like for me, I'm like, once I can get back in that routine, like I'm all in, and I'm like 5-6 days a week, right? And I want to do the 2-3 hours a day, right? But like what is the thing to motivate someone to get off the couch in the first place?
I don't want to die.
Okay.
Now, there's going to be different layers of motivation. I was always fascinated with bodybuilding. Just never got around to doing it. I've always lifted weights since I was 17. My kickstart to bodybuilding was when I gave up smoking and drinking.
Okay.
And I had to find a new vice. So a lot of people getting off the couch, There's a great. Are you familiar with what's his name? Eric, the hip hop preacher, or the hip hop. I'm trying to think of his last name. Eric Turner, I think is his name. And I know I said the last name wrong, but he has a question. He goes, "What's your why?"
Yeah.
So if there isn't a why, then the lift off the couch becomes hard.
Right.
Because you have no reason to get off the couch.
That's funny because I know when I every time like because I'm not like you, like I get busy and I get distracted and then I fall away from going to the gym, right?
90 days to make a habit.
Yeah, so I'll go ups and downs, but every time like I really got into it, there was always some. So like when I was young, it was playing football. Then when I got older, it was, and I didn't never do it, and that's a whole nother story. But go in the military, right? Then I got to another age, and it was because I wanted to go on a vacation. But there was always some kind of motivator that like I couldn't just be like, oh, I just want to get in shape. Like I didn't care enough to do that.
And for years, I was a health club manager. And, my main job was to sell fitness. So I talk to people every day about this. What's your why? What's your why? What's your why? What's your why? And that's before it was presented to me in that perspective. So now I use it as what's your why?
Yeah.
If you say I just want to lose weight, okay, why? I ask people that you've been in my store when people come in and I go, why? I need to know your why, because if you don't have a why, then you're just going to waste your money.
There's got to be something deeper than that.
Because if there isn't a why, then just because. Well, there needs to be more than just because.
Yeah.
When I first started lifting weight, I was fascinated with comic books. I wanted to look like a certain way. It was fascination. I opened the books. I saw the magazines. I found my why because my why was I wanted to look like that. And then my uncles told me that I was going to be fat like them. So there was my why to never get fat.
Right.
So the better the why, the easier it is to lift off the couch. Because if the doctor didn't tell you, hey, you're going to get diabetes, cholesterol, heart disease, kidney failure, and all these wonderful things by eating McDonald's every single day, I wouldn't stop eating McDonald's. It's delicious. But there's a why not to eat it.
Right. So what is the addicting part? Like, because this as well as I do. Like once you get in the gym, like
it takes
love being there.
It takes 90 days to make a habit.
Yeah.
The endorphins kick in. The feel good. I used to be. I got fired from my first gym job for not opening the gym at 4:30 in the morning. I just thought everybody worked at the end of the day.
You told me this
story.
So
I thought everybody worked out at the end of the day because I was young.
Yeah.
That's typically a young person's day starts when the sun goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to bed. I'm going to stay up. I'll play video games. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. We're going to howl at the moon. We're lone wolves. We're kids.
Yeah.
An adult, I'm going to get up at the beginning of my day, because if I don't do it at the beginning of the day, after working 10, 12 hours a day, after being stressed out, the boss yelling at me, this, I am not going to go home and get off the couch. Better yet, I remember.
I'm still wired different because I still like working on the evenings.
And once you make the switch to the morning, you're going to go, oh. And
I've tried it.
When I made the switch to the morning, I went to work in the evening one night. I got out the store, closed the store, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go work in the evening. I walked in there and I was like, this ain't happening. It was just, my motivation was gone. My body was like, hey, we need to be home. I was already thinking about tomorrow. Because now if I stay in here for 2 or 3 hours, I'm running into this time. I should have did it this morning. I should have just got up an hour earlier.
Is that again a 90-day thing? Like you just got to do it for 90 days to make yourself do it?
Once you get into it, it's that way. I will say this. Going home is the hardest thing. I remember being a kid and having my gym in the garage.
Yeah. I love when I had a home gym.
Yeah, but the problem with the home gym for me was walking in the house. I need to use the restroom. I need to get something to drink. Now I've got somebody who wants to talk to me. The house is cool in the summer. It's warm in the winter. Do you really want to stand outside when it's 30 degrees and lift weights? You go in the house, it's warm. Now you got to walk back outside. Your pump's gone. Your motivation's gone. You're like, I'm done. So for me, I had to leave my home gym, and I got a gym membership, and I was able to continue going down the road.
Okay.
So you just need a why to get off the couch.
Yeah. But it's hard to get going in the first place.
Without a why.
Yeah. Okay, so supplements. Like when someone's just starting out, like what are the first supplements they need to get into?
Say the word again.
Supplements.
What am I supplementing?
Your diet? Your food?
Why am I supplementing my food?
To get bigger, build more muscle, be able to work out longer.
Do supplements build muscle, or does food?
Food builds muscle.
It's called a supplement for a reason. I own a supplement store. It's called a supplements for a reason.
Okay.
We have a great family store, and it's a supplement shop. But I tell people that walk in the door all the time, okay, cool, what are you doing? I had a young man came in today, and he's like, hey, but I want to get bigger. I said, what'd you have for breakfast? He went, coffee. I go, oh. You lost. I said, I could sell you $1,000 worth of product, but none of it's going to work. I said, it's all great product, but the word is a supplement. I am supplementing something. So when you're truly trying to do it correctly, I'm not supplementing, I'm augmenting.
Ooh. So get your diet right first.
You get your diet right first, and then you augment it. So now I'm adding something like amino acids. It's always my first go-to. I prefer amino acids before I prefer protein, because you shouldn't eat a protein powder if you're eating correctly, because there shouldn't be a spot in your day where you don't have protein running through your system because you're eating correctly. And the amino acid is your body's ability to absorb protein.
I don't think you've ever actually sold me protein.
I don't like the stuff. We sell it. I don't like the stuff because I prefer food. That's just me. I prefer food. Food actually creates a metabolism. You buy a fat burner to increase your heart rate. If I have to digest food and I'm eating every couple hours, my heart never really stops. I have a metabolism that's going all day long. Mm-hmm. So food establishes a metabolism, and so many people get confused on that. So I would rather for somebody to augment than supplement.
Okay.
Because now I'm having my amino acid while I'm working out. I can't stop and eat a steak.
Yeah.
But if I have my amino acids, which are what protein breaks down to an amino acid. So if I'm drinking my aminos, and you want to drink the essential aminos, which is the protein from the food plus the branched chain amino acids, a big long, we can go into that later. You want to drink that while you're eating it, because now as I'm working out, I'm tearing down my muscle, but I've got this product that is protein at its simplest form, rapidly absorbing. And it was actually Tom's brother who broke me down on this.
Okay.
He broke me down on this one day. It was real funny. I thought I was, he broke me down. I was like, oh. And so now you have this protein that's going directly, it's pre-digested, it's hitting your bloodstream, and it's going to the muscle, so it's repairing it as you're working out. Okay. Lysine has an insulin effect, so you're actually spiking your glycogen, which is going to help you continue to work out longer and harder. All these other different things, big words that repair, grow, tissue, all that stuff. So you have these things. So anything we're doing, you want to augment the pre-workout. A lot of times people take pre-workout because they didn't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
You can't drive to LA with your gas light on.
Right.
You got to have something.
Right.
So now if you have something to eat and you take a pre-workout, does it work better?
Yeah.
Because now your body actually has something to run off of.
Right.
So you don't want to supplement, you want to augment.
Okay. So if they need their supplements, where do they go? Oh,
we're located at 7420 District Boulevard, right across the street from Nestlé Ice Cream, the Sportlander West.
I had to get that in there for you. So you've helped me a lot on my diet, right?
Yes.
Which is crazy. Did I tell you the story about going to the Flame and Fire the other day? Which great restaurant, nothing bad to say against them. But did I tell you the story about how it affected
you can't have steak.
I had the worst hangover of my life. I didn't drink. I had the worst hangover of my life from eating all that red meat. It's crazy. But you're a big believer in the blood type diet, right?
I'm a huge believer in the blood type diet. Because especially once you start following it, you find out what your body optimally runs on. I tell people it's like having a race car. We'll use the most simplest car that everybody loves. You take a Dodge Hellcat.
Okay.
The Hellcat runs on 91.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put the higher with the 97, you unlock all 700 horses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing when you get it on the right gas. It'll still run on 91. If I had not broken down the blood type, you would still eat red meat, and you would still run magnificently.
Sure.
Because your body is used to digesting that. We are carnivores. That's what the body's used to eat. But I gave you 97.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about it, Steve, is I've been a bad boy the last few weeks. You probably already knew that without me telling you, didn't you? But I was telling the team earlier, I was like, you know what? I've been kind of tired lately. It just now clicked in my head. That's why, because I haven't been eating right.
Yep. You got used to running on 97.
So much energy from just eating right.
You got used to running on 97. You can still run. You can still run. If I put 87 in a Hellcat, it'll still drive. Crappy. It'll still drive. Yeah. If I put 89 in there, it'll still run. 91, it'll run optimally, but it won't run great. That 97 is going to give me it's going to let me use the little red key that comes with it. And that's why I paid $100,000, and so I can use the red key. But without 97, the red key's no good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's crazy is, thinking about that, like I was like now, which is good. I'm at the point now where I'm like, I look at sugar and I'm like, I don't even want that.
I fell asleep in watching Ant-Man. I got the sugars. That's what they call it in the neighborhood. I got the sugars. I had some pretzels and a 7-Up and some candy, and I woke up and ooh. So what happened? And it's just because I don't eat that. And so when I got that insulin rush just sitting there doing nothing, I just knocked out.
Oh, you do? It's crazy.
I just knocked right out. And I woke up and I was like, well, that was money wasted. So what did I miss?
So how would you layer it? Like, what order would you start? Would you start with the food first, then the workout, and then the supplements, or food, supplements, workout? Like, how do you?
Workout is the fun thing, and it's the last thing.
Okay.
It's food, rest, workout. When you're trying to build the physique that you're trying to build. Mm-hmm. If you don't rest, you can't rebuild. If you don't eat, you can't refuel. So the workout
is the last thing you do.
That's the fun part.
But you can still lose weight and get in shape, not even working out, just eating right.
Oh, yes. I mean, yeah. The human body is a great piece of machinery. If you don't feed it processed sugar, how does it get fat?
Yeah.
No processed sugar, no processed. You just eat. You go to any, we call them third world countries, but you go to any small country, they're not working out.
Right.
They're eating the proper foods for their region. And that's where the blood type dieting even comes in. If you really go down the rabbit hole, blood type dieting, there's regions, and each region has food that they can eat. So those people are eating the food that their bodies have been eating and their ancestors have been eating and their bodies have been processing for years. And you look, and these people, like, wow, bro, how do you have a six-pack? What's a six-pack? They don't know, but they're shredded. They look absolutely fabulous. And you see them.
They don't work out.
And they're moving things that you're like, hey, how'd you pick that up? But it's because they're optimal.
It's how God designed us to work.
Yes.
Or is it how God, or is it just more like the evolution? Like, even though we don't believe in, like, we didn't necessarily evolve from a fish, right? But
it's regioned, and the blood types. We're all individual. I couldn't tell you if we all were some sort of double X or ZY blood type before the Tower of Babel. But with the Tower of Babel came the splitting of language, and I'm pretty sure it's probably the splitting of blood. So we had to go different directions. So you have people that went different directions, and so for however long you want to say this place has been in existence, that is what that blood type, like most blood types, if you backtrace them, they come from a certain type of region.
So for me, for A, right, it's pretty much, and I told Davey this, and part of the reason I haven't been eating, as well as I should, just to be very transparent about it, is because food is outrageously priced now. Like, it's twice what it was last year.
I'm just glad I don't compete anymore. I'd cry.
Right.
I would cry when I competed. How much money?
Steve, we're spending $400 a week on groceries.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So I told Davey last night, I was like, because she was like, oh, here's some chili dogs for dinner. I was like, all right. I was like, she was like, well, buying salmon all the time is expensive. I was like, I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, just rice and veggies, and that'd be okay. And she was like, well, I can make falafel and do some other stuff.
The A is not a carnivore. The A is not a carnivore. So you are correct. You are more of a vegetarian grain.
Yeah.
So if you were to decide to,
which is crazy, because I always, you always hear, oh, don't have carbs, and rice is carbs, right? So how does that fit in?
Your body just processes it.
And knows how to process that.
Yes.
So just eat rice and veggies and we're good.
Just don't eat a lot of it. Because at the end of the day, we're still Western.
Right.
We are still Western.
That's why the boots.
And even though our great ancestor might have lived in a fish patty, we're still Westerners, and we've been Westerners probably. You could probably chase your generations back to the 1700s.
Yeah.
So you've been a Westerner for over 200 years, which is tons of decades.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we are Westerners.
Okay. So what is the B? We know what the A is. What is the B?
B, I just did one the other day for a gentleman. B is he's a turkey fish veal, which was weird.
Okay.
Which was very weird. Where I was like, he can eat deer, so he's a forest.
Okay. Okay.
So he's a forest creature.
Okay.
He's not. It's not wild game, but he can have the venison, which I was like, huh. So turkey, chicken, venison, and different types of fruits and vegetables. You have more of a wider variety of color than he does. But he would be more forest.
Uh-huh.
You're more fisherman.
Okay. Okay, got it. And then what's the O?
Oh, I'm a caveman. I go outside and I hit the bear in the head. And
You can eat whatever you want.
I'm technically supposed to eat it out the ground.
What does that mean?
So if it doesn't grow out of the ground, like I'm a caveman. O lives in the cave where we eat meat and potatoes. So if it comes out the ground, I can eat it. But if it's not something that comes out of the ground that has to be processed, has to be grown, we're sweet potatoes, yams. Your basic, like corn doesn't work for us. It's real basic food.
Huh. Sounds like the best blood type to have, though.
You know what? When I could eat all the red meat, I could. I love the fact that, red meat and fish made me feel awesome. All the other stuff was like, yeah, I'll need like that. And if I eat a steak, you can put the biggest steak in the world, I'll eat it, and my metabolism immediately fires up. I used to leave, we would go to eat at Outback. I would leave Outback and drive across the street to In-N-Out. Because my body was metabolizing that steak, and I was like, man, I'm hungry.
But the bread's not good for you, right?
No, I'm not a grain person. It bloats me.
Yeah. But I can eat some bread.
Yes. Bread bloats me because, once again, I'm a caveman. Cavemen don't make, we don't make bread. It's not there. Mongo eat with his hands. We don't eat bread, like oatmeal. Remember I said I realized I was real thick, and I was like, I'm eating a lot of bread. The moment I dropped the bread, it just went back down.
Yeah, but I can't eat like white bread and stuff like that. I'm not.
Nobody should ever eat white bread.
Right.
Yeah.
Sourdough's okay.
Yeah, the sourdoughs, the rye, the Ezekiels, those are the better breads to eat because they do not have any GMO, do all the stuff, all the bad stuff. The breakdown in the stomach is a lot easier. Anything that can melt in your mouth automatically hits your stomach, automatically spikes your insulin, automatically turns to sugar. And if you're not active, most people aren't active enough to process sugar. Like I said, I ate the sugars in the theater and immediately went, too much.
Yeah, but now like simple sugars, simple sugars, is that right? Like the fruits is okay.
Yes, the human body is a magnificent piece of machinery. I switched him, the guy I just did the blood type, I switched him from Pop-Tarts to plums. And that's what he could have. And I said, you know what, instead of having a Pop-Tart in the middle of your workout, have a plum. And he looked at me crazy and said, trust me, have a plum. He walked up to me today and goes, wow. I said, that's what your body processes.
Yeah.
Your body can process that specific sugar in that specific fruit better than it can that processed.
Well, Ludavia said, and I do this for dessert sometimes. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but she read it. She said it was okay. Is the ricotta cheese with some berries?
Yes.
And I do that all. And sometimes I'll throw some peanut butter in there.
I don't think you can eat peanut butter.
I thought I could.
I thought it was walnuts.
Huh?
I thought it was walnuts. I could be wrong.
I
could be wrong.
I'm just going off of what I think she said.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not supposed to peanut butter. But the ricotta and berries. And a little bit of honey.
Your body processes it
better. It's amazing.
Your body literally processes it better. You eat it and you go, it's not a sugar rush. You're like, oh, man.
Just makes you tired and heavy.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So is there anything else you want to talk about in this episode, Steve?
No, I'm pretty good. I hope I didn't let you guys down.
I hope I didn't let you guys down by asking the wrong questions.
And I would love to hear any counters.
Yeah.
Please, if you have a counter to what we said, I don't pretend to be a genius. I don't pretend to know it all. If you ever see me in a room, I'm really quiet because I'm listening and I'm trying to learn. So I would love to hear your counters or your continuation. So please, in the comments, leave something there you can say, Steve, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to go down the rabbit hole.
Or
with
if you guys have questions, we can start taking some of your questions and ask
Yes,
Steve with their questions.
Yeah, man, you're really gonna make my brain hurt, huh? But yes, we would love to do that. I mean, this show, the more feedback, the better this program will be.
Yeah. Yeah. We start promoting this in your shop.
Yes, we can do that.
Your shop at
7420 District Boulevard, right across the street from Nestle. Hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.